good to get back to game week. I thought that last week's bye week was at a crucial time. I thought our kids were able to recover, be able to get ready for this last 3-game stretch. Anytime you get rest, it's an opportunity really just to refocus. And what your rest really is we're resting up for this final push. And that's how we look at it. We know we've had a tough stretch right here. We're not concerned about what's behind us. And, as you sit back and you look at, really that 3/4 of that season, and you go back and you look at it, and the thing that sticks out to me that I'm just proud of is just the effort and the fight and the attitude and the mentality. And look, we've also got to see this thing for what it is. And we're in year 2, we're in phase 2, and we make no excuses. And we don't want anybody to feel sorry for us. We understand that we're in tough times right now, and you got to embrace those tough times. It's those tough times that you continue to fight, and you continue to come back, and you fight to the end, and you continue to do it week in and week out, week in and week out. And when you continue to do that, you give yourself an opportunity to break through. And that's really what this team and this senior class has done here, last year and really 3/4 of this season. We understand and we're excited about this 3-game stretch, and we're focused on one day at a time. And we understand that we've got to continue to improve every single day. The culture, the kids, our coaches. I think we've had a great bye week. I think we've had a great start to this game week. They're excited to play again. So got a quality opponent, conference opponent at home, Saturday at 2:30, and our players are excited about it. Questions?
Losing 5 straight, how have you been able to try and reinstill confidence with these guys, knowing that if you said you went out, you're going to a bowl game, so that would be a nice finish to the season, even with how bad things have been the last couple of weeks?
You know what, man, when you go through 5 straight and you sit back, and it's been tough. It's been frustrating because of the investment, of the effort, of the work ethic, when everything these guys have invested to continue to to build this program. There are frustrations, and it's tough. And I think everything, when you go through and you think about it, 5 straight, but your kids are still playing till the end. Your kids, there's not bad body language. There's no give in. There's no give up. It's till the very last second. You can go back to Old Dominion and you're down 24-0. Bang. And we come back and we fight till the very end, and they outscore 7-6, and they're a good football team. But from every game of these, even this last 5-game stretch, you can go back from the beginning to the end. And that's what it's going to take to break through. That's what it's going to take. If we were falling off and there was no effort and we weren't finishing games with everything we got from the first play, because regardless of the score, it's the only way to build this program. It's the only way to break through. You don't just show up. You don't. And it just happens. It's going to take a group of men, and it's going to take a town, and it's going to take a fan base that wants to embrace that fight. Because once you break through it, you're through it. And this team and this staff and our fans, there's a lot of loyal fans out there that are with us till the end, and we're just getting started. I know that sounds crazy, but I've been a part of this before. And do we want to be broken through right now? Would we like to be 6-3? Of course we would. Have we fought to be that and worked to be that? Yes, we have. Have we executed and performed in critical moments? No, we haven't. So we clean it up. So we work at it. So we fix it. We continue the climb. That's what this team has done, and I'm proud of them. And look, we got a lot of football left. And we're going to take it one day at a time, and we're going to continue to be consistent in who we are, as men and also as a football team.
Coach, we talked last week or 2 weeks ago. It was just about the team kind of feeling like they're pressing a little bit. Hearing the guys still positive, upbeat during that bye week. Heading into a 3-game stretch, 3 very winnable football games, still in position to reach that goal of make it to a bowl game. Just how special is that to see these guys still with that excitement to go out and finish the mission?
I think it's uncommon. I think you can look around the country and there's a lot of teams in similar situations, and you just don't know if they're going from the beginning to the end. I've been able to see, I've seen it with my own eyes. the mentality and the effort. There is no negativity. It's not allowed, and I think the reason that you've seen this week in and week out and week in and week out is because this is how we've started this foundation from day one. And that foundation has got to be strong. And right now our kids are steady and they're strong and they're continuing to be the same day in and day out. And that is not easy and it's not common. And that's why I feel good about the direction of this program and this mission.
What did you change in the bye week to, try and flip the results around?
I really just wanted to give them rest and wanted to see, you've had, 7 straight? What was it? I don't know, 5 of those 7 on the road? Or 4 that we had a 4 out of 5 game stretch. It was on the road and these kids, you're able to refocus, you're able to reset, you're able to really see your purpose and your mission when you're able to take a step back. And when you look around this league and you see the guys that are playing for the championship or playing to win the West, and you're sitting there and you're watching Arkansas State and Southern Miss go to the wire, and Ark State's got the ball, I guess on the 11 or 12 to win the game, and you see, the Southern Miss situation, you see Troy, and you see all these teams, Coastal, were they 5-1 in conference? I mean, what we've done in year 2 is now we've raised it and we are now competing with the best. We are right there. We're not going to sit here and make excuses. I'm never going to make excuses because then we're not embracing the tough times. We're running from the tough times. Doesn't matter whatever's happened with whatever situation. We're not going to sit up here and talk about who we don't have and what has happened. It's excuses. And we're going to embrace these tough times and we're going to fight through them and get through them, and then we're going to continue to build. And that's part of turning a program around that's been to 1 bowl game in the history. That's part of turning a program around that's had 1 winning season in 29 years. And we're not scared of it. We're not backing down from it. We're embracing it. We know where we're at. Let's go fight again. And let's go do it again. And let's stick to the standards of discipline and toughness and effort and, being a great teammate.
Coach, get to start this final 3-game stretch at home in One Stadium for these seniors. Last chance to play in a place they call home for the last 4 or 5 years. Just how much are these guys embracing this opportunity to finish out the home stand strong?
I think they understand the moment. This is their last home game. Our next 2 games are on the road. And, this senior class and this team, especially this senior class, a lot of these guys have hung in here, and this place means something to them. It's personal. And they've bled for this university. They've bled for this town, and they've fought, with everything they've gotten day in and day out. And it's a special moment. These guys have played a vital part in the resurgence of where we're going. And it's a big day, and they deserve to be honored.
What do you see in South Alabama, kind of a similar situation? You guys in their 1-4 conference play. What do you see in them that popped up from a coach's perspective on film?
You see a talented football team. You see a team that's been real close all year. I mean, you go back to the Tulane game. It's 33-31. They're going for 2 to tie it up and put it into overtime. You go to the Arkansas State game. They're up 14-3 late in the 3rd quarter. You go to the Coastal Carolina game at South. They're winning. I think it's 14-3, and they turn the ball over back-to-back plays. You go to the Troy game. They've got the lead. It's in overtime. It's back and forth. So they've been right there. I thought they played really good against Auburn. So as you go back and you look at their entire body of work, they're really close. They're in all these fights. They're in all these battles. They're coached extremely well. Any Sun Belt team, including South Alabama, is very capable of beating anybody every given Saturday. Defensively, I think Will does a great job defensively. They're very active. They're physical. They're tough. So, they run the ball extremely well on offense with Book. They've got 2 really good backs in him and Keenan Phillips. Davenport can take it to the house at any given time. You've got Voisin, who's really their main target at the receiver position. He's got 50 catches, who can really stretch the field. So this is a very talented, South Alabama football team that's coached really well. Coach Applewhite does a great job. They've been right there. So at the end of the day, it's going to be a great game. They got a really good football team. We're excited to be able to play the next game after the bye week and see where we're at.
What's the talk with the guys? Obviously, South Alabama team that's, as Clay said, in the same situation. They're hungry as well. It's going to be a test Saturday of who wants it more. What's the talk with the guys?
I think the biggest thing is the next game, and it's the opportunity for us to play clean. We haven't played a clean football game in 5 weeks, and from turnovers to penalties to situational football, it's an opportunity for us to go out there and play well as a team, because once we break through, you got to keep banging. And we're banging and we're banging and we're fighting for that moment, and that moment to go out there and play clean as a football team and to play together and to play complementary football, which we're fighting for and clean. And so the key is to continue the climb. The key is just to continue to look in the mirror and own the things that have held us back in these last several games, to be able to fix and correct it so we can enjoy, some success.
You kind of just answered it near the end of that last question, but what do you think it's going to take to get over the hump, get over the top? You keep saying we're close. And what's the final step to finally get a win?
It's just going out there and doing it. Going out there and executing. Going out there and not turning the football over in critical situations, not getting penalties that put us behind the sticks or extend those drives. They've been some self-inflicting. So that's why we just got to clean it up. We just need to play clean. We need to have great ball security on offense. I think the takeaway battle in this game is going to be critical, and who comes out as a winner. I think who wins the turnover battle is going to be a big deal. Who executes on third down? Who stays on the field on 4th and 1? They're going to go for it. We went for it. We wouldn't be able to execute it twice at versus Old Dominion. It's those moments that win and lose football games, and being able to get in the red zone and put it in the end zone. So be able to play clean, and games are always won in the fourth. The championship games, the conference games, they're won in the fourth. And the last time we were in that situation, was obviously Arkansas State, where we were able to come through it. So we've been able to learn a lot and grow a lot. And I think regardless, we're not going to make excuses. So we've had to have guys step up, and it's their opportunity to step up. And I think as some of the weeks have gone, those guys have gotten better, because experience, you got to have experience to grow and develop. So, I like where this football team's headed. We just got to see it come to fruition Saturday. And the only way to do it is to go out there and play at a high level.
You were talking about how beneficial this bye week was mentally, physically. Obviously some injuries in the last couple of weeks. How big was this bye week to get some guys healthier, get them closer to 100% to finish the season?
I think it was critical. It was critical. It was without a doubt the best timing it could have been, because we needed that time. We needed that time after 7 straight, and the amount of guys that we've had out has put so much stress on the other guys. With your roster last year, year one, we were really 1 deep. We were 1 deep, and it kind of caught up. This year, we're 2 deep. Well, that 2 deep is starting to expose itself when you're on the second, third guys in some situations, but that's what it is. So it's next man up as we continue to build this roster.